Here we go, though. This is going to be
ban.
number 2, baby. Yep, there it is.
Champion's broken.
What was the first pick here, though? Oh, right.
Maybe
Okay.
Azir, maybe.
You got yourself
I mean,
right.
Azir was first pick for
Yeah.
Belcher last game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see CLG pick that one up.
I'll take Rise over Rise
Hey.
any day.
You mean it? Oh, wait.
Yeah, Azir
Azir's
got
banned.
banned.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. Hard to take him there. But, man, yeah, this is pre-rework Rise, so still in the old busted.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the rework's purpose was. You moved 5 skills into 4 and gave him a TP.
Well, now you need to buy a little bit of cooldown reduction at least.
I mean, I'm salty. I've been getting blasted by Rises and
For like
normals
4
every day.
years.
There's
Yeah.
2 every single game has 2 Rises, and 1 is incredible, and it's on the opposing team. Anyways, the Rise, the good thing about the Rise is that you basically get any jungler that's left works great with them. You can do Graves, you can do Gragas, Nidalee. Everything works with Rise, so CLG can.
Everything's good with Rise?
Yeah. Oh.
Ha! What about...
I like rice pudding. And
What about the... so they just moused over it there, but what about Hecarim
Do it.
Jungle? Because I actually like Hecarim Jungle a lot, just for...
I don't think it suits CLG at all, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hecarim comboed with Shen, and especially with... That would be sick, honestly. Hecarim combo with Shen with Sivir. It's just... That's like the most insane engaged combo ever. But
Yeah. My favorites have been, any team where I either have a Sivir or a Karma on my team. I'm just talking about, regular rank play, not even competitive. Hecarim just feels so strong right now. Do you actually feel like he falls off as you get higher and higher in the ladder, or good all around?
It's just a snowball champion. If you get ahead, you can carry any game. But the second that you're even, or you're thinking, should I buy a defensive item? That's when you fall in the trap.
yeah, I mean,
Correct.
literally everybody that I've talked to about Hecarim, like in general, everywhere is just like Hecarim is the scrim champion, right? Because in scrims, people always play more aggressive and you get more kills, so you're able to snowball. And Hecarim's really like punishing of mistakes like that. But honestly, in competitive matches where everyone plays a little bit more safe, Hecarim seems a little bit weaker to me at least, but I mean he's still a strong champion obviously, but
I'd rather have the more reliable engage of the
of the Dragon.
I actually started crying because I think Inori was the one who played him first in NALCS, and he went full tank, like Sightstone. And I was like, you can't do anything though. Like, if you pick Hecarim, you better at least be building a Trinity Force.
That's basically, you're just trying to meet your team halfway and saying, you know what, just let me play Hecarim. I'll buy wards this time. Just
Sometimes
let me do it, please.
you need to tell your team to shut your mouth because
you gotta build damage.
Need at least
it's a big horse. There's plenty of room for 4 people.
There you go. Get on the back.
So I'm kind of surprised that Immortals just went ahead with the Elise right away. I would have kind of thought that Gragas would be a better pick into the Rise over the Elise.
I mean, Gragas, they already picked up
Elise,
Gragas
right.
on
I mean,
No, like first rotation.
Oh, yeah,
like,
first
They went
rotation.
first rotation Elise, so you could have easily grabbed Sivir Gragas.
I think with Rek'Sai gone, picking Elise for Reignover it's honestly it's just overall a really solid champion. It doesn't really have any bad matchups in my opinion outside of the Rek'Sai. You can kind of control everything else, and especially how Reignover likes to play, like invading the other jungler a lot, taking camps, and looking for ganks, especially top lane. I don't know. I think it fits his style a lot, and I'm kind of happy to see this happen because I think this matchup is a lot more like. Well, it's not even that it's more even. I think it's just one person I think is going to clearly like win out instead of it just being sort of even, which it was last game. So, yeah.
So in combo with the Malzahar, is there anything that any mid laner here can do to survive those ganks at L6?
I mean, if you're Morgana and you try and black shield yourself before...
Yeah, I don't think
you just gotta take the smite.
I don't know about the Morgana. into Sivir and Karma, I feel like you're just going to lose lane because oh, okay, Haffer with the patented, but
He's gonna roam mid. He's gonna black shield the ultimate from Malzahar. Perfect timing.
If he perfect times it,
$5 right now.
Oh man, I got $5 in my wallet. So
I mean, I've been seeing anybody who's against Malzahar recently in solo queue has been taking smite to smite the Void Link.
My brain is like.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I've seen it like 6 times.
Are you sure it's not one guy trolling? Just that.
It's not one guy. It's definitely more than one person.
He's got he can spawn like 4 at once, right?
I think
he can spawn a whole bunch of them. Yeah. You'll smite the biggest one. Kill off the leader. You cut off the head. The other ones are.
Yeah. I mean, I like what CLG has here a lot more. While I think the dual lane might struggle a little bit because Morgana basically offers 0 during the laning phase until level 6. You have Gragas with Aurelia, Gragas with Rise.
Dude, they picked a Lowy.
I mean,
You
feels
can still
like
kill her. Like, this is not that good for Illaoi, though. They have so much kill pressure with Gragas. I think that this would be a game where CLG has to kind of think internally and say, do we go against our gut, which our gut always said, or no, your heart says regular lanes, or your mind says lane swap, where it's always in CLG's head.
I think, honestly, lane swaps always benefit the team with the Sivir on it, and their push is like incredibly fast on the 2v1. So if they get the 2v1 off, then I think it's actually much better for Immortals this game. But I mean, if it is standard lanes, I think we're definitely gonna see a lot of gangster on top this game, because that matchup right there is really volatile, and both junglers can kill the top laner. So
yeah, I don't think it's worth it too much to put too much attention into the mid lane, because Rice doesn't have that much damage into the early lane, especially because Malzahar's going to be pushing so much. He has to use a lot of his mana onto the wave, so until he gets his tier and really gets going, I don't think there's enough damage to really kill him through the ghost and flash. So more ganks to the top side, as you said, is probably what's going to happen.
I definitely agree. Like, anytime you're in a standard lane game as a jungler, you're evaluating each lane. You're like, planning my route around ending, top side or something like that, if it's this Aurelia Illaoi matchup. Whereas my Ryze, I want my Ryze to, I'm not fighting with him until he gets like at least one item.
Yeah.
Rod of Ages and tier at least, maybe also Seraphs. But after you hit that sweet spot in the mid game though with Ryze, and I'll go fight with Huhi over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, at level 6, it's going to be so important to go towards mid lane, not just for the actual gank itself, because Ryze can have more kill pressure obviously and chase power with the ult, but you gotta protect your Ryze. That he's gonna get mauled by Elise and Malzahar. And he's not gonna buy any MR.
That's why I'd much rather stop mid and just be like, here's a couple wards, like chill on this side of the map. I'm not gonna come by, because if we get into a 2 versus 2, especially if you try and so often in more so in like ranked games and like solo queue and stuff, like if you gank mid and you get their flash and they run into that brush down on the bottom side of the river and you're like, we almost got him, and then Elise is in that brush and you get full comboed out of the cocoon.
One thing that I really like that was taught a little bit is that mid laners typically tend to ward obviously the mid lane brushes on the sides.
Yeah.
But if you're a jungler and you actually want to avoid those ganks and still find your way towards mid lane, if you hug the opposite side of the ramp and just really hug it, you can avoid the wars and really surprise mid laners that might not be paying enough attention to the matchup itself.
Yeah, pathing is so important as far as actually right-clicking a bunch of times right in front of your champion so that you can do things like that and hug the wall right outside of Fog of War.
Oh,
as a jungler.
Whoa, Xmithie though.
This is so dangerous.
I dig it. Oh, are they going for kill? They're gonna kill Hui. Are they?
I mean,
this is smart.
Oh, they're killing Huni.
Huni.
They're trying to cheese him, I think.
Oh,
I mean,
wait.
Huni already put down a ward though.
Sick invade.
Yeah, Huni already put down a ward.
Wait,
though.
he didn't even ward anything.
They circled around him.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that one. Why would you not drop the ward? Well, I guess he doesn't.
Maybe he already dropped one.
No,
or?
he dropped it into the island brush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty sick opening though. No deep wards, actually for either team. So it looks to me like we're gonna get standard unless they do a really late blind swap. So
here's a curious thing about Gragas that I don't see a lot of people trying this out, but you can actually basically be the exact same strength of Gragas maxing W as opposed to Q. And I'm a big fan of the W max, since I like to just get in there and fight and tank things a whole bunch, whereas the Q max works a little bit better against team compositions where you need a lot of wave clear, or it's really important to kite people around. So what do you think of the W max on the Dragon?
I mean, I honestly have never tried it, so I can't say for sure, but I mean, there's a lot of situations where you can use yourself.
I don't know what
kill him!
Adrian's
Kill his
doing.
ass!
Yeah, he's
gonna flash.
Oh, he's gonna flash,
That's
all right.
tragic.
What?
Well,
dude, this is the time when you're Reignover and then your support goes in and dies, and then you're just like,
Flash
dude,
remake. Is that function in here yet?
wait, everyone connected? Oh no!
Oh man, that was not good at all.
I mean, yeah.
See, that's one thing that supports have to keep in mind in the level 1 always. When you're trying to invade, you got to think to yourself, can I actually harass them from afar without getting collapsed on? So if you're against champions like, say, Elise and Elise Rek'Sai, you can kite that pretty easily. But against Gragas in the level 1, the likes of Gragas, Graves, Lee Sin, that kind of champion early on, you do not want to be messing around.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's no better feeling in a 2v1 when the annoying support comes to mess with you and then you just kill him. You're like, haha, I won, you know? So,
don't you ever come back.
Yeah, don't you ever come back and mess with me again. It feels so nice to get that kill. And that's just going to put Xmithie pretty far ahead, I think, in terms of just I mean, he got slowed down a little bit on red, but he got a 400 gold kill, so he's
Yeah.
going to be that much closer to Runic Echoes.
That's actually something I really wanted to bring up with you guys, because there was that recent change. The early kills give you very little experience now. You still get a huge chunk of gold, which is amazing, but he hasn't gone back to spend it yet, right? And the experience now that you get from early kills is so low that if you're in a normal game and you're jungling, and you have that choice, going for a level 3 gank or continue farming, a lot of the times the guy who keeps farming and doesn't even try for a gank is going to win because he's a level up. He's guaranteed going to be a level up on you because he gets that extra camp. Even if your gank is successful, like, has that changed your play just in normal ranked games and causing you to farm harder early game rather than going for ganks unless they're like super free?
I mean, me personally, I don't gank ever, so I kill the minions.
All
That's my job,
farm.
so.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, not really. If you can get an early kill, it's obviously going to put you pretty far ahead, and depending on like how much, it's not worth it to spend like a minute going for a gank, right, to go for a kill, because you get too behind in experience in that regard. But
well, to touch on that, actually, somebody asked me, hey, so what do you think is the best way to approach the jungle playstyle right now? And I think that the best way is kind of how TSM plays. It obviously does play a big part of how dominant their lanes can be, but instead of wasting that time with the ganks, you can ensure that your ganks are successful if instead of just being regular ganks, they're all dives. So if you just focus heavily on counter jungling and denying minions and farming yourself and putting yourself in positions where you can just gank from behind or just go for tower dives, you have a much higher success rate on the ganks, and you're always guaranteed to keep the levels as opposed to looking for those ganks and trying to snowball.
Yeah, that goes back to our conversation about ganking for your strong side, wherever you already have strength on the map.
Yeah, don't associate yourself with losers.
Yeah. This guy's behind 2 CS. You're out of here.
Yeah,
Okay, for you, buddy. You better smash that guy if you want me to come over here. I'll come over and pick up the extra kill.
I mean, yeah, look at Reignover. He's already level 5, whereas Xmithie's level 4. Just from
he's
that
going to be 5 off Phrase, I think.
Yeah, he would be, but it just goes to show how important the jungle experience is.
Yeah.
I think actually Xmithie's ahead because Reignover is actually down a camp, I'm pretty sure, because Xmithie was running through the river and and he stopped and saw wolves spawn and went back for the wolves. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be about a camp ahead in experience.
For that split second, Reignover had more experience, but there was more on the map for Xmithie to pick up, and I think he's going to pick it up pretty easily. But we actually are going for a second push here for Immortals. When do you guys make the call, oh, we're going to continue to hard push and try and force another trade, or try and defend? I think CLG can defend this. And
they're going to lose the turret for sure, I think. I think this is a pretty big mistake by CLG and I guess Xmithie in general, because they are behind on tempo, right? So they can't really... Are they? Oh, wow. They're actually not going to lose the turret.
Yeah. It's actually still before 7 minutes. Oh, wait, that only works for outer towers. Still, though, they have enough people here. Taking half of a secondary turret.
So here was crucial, though, is that because they went for that decision to go for the tier 2 trade, Immortals is going to be really far behind in terms of what's going on the map because they're shopping late. So particularly Xmithie gets to go with the trackers already and gets to put out the wards, and he's going to be able to really deduce what Reignover is going to try to do. And if he actually, okay, so he places a ward pretty defensively, but if they actually use these to go for something offensive, they can really get the leg up on Immortals and make the first assertive move, especially now that they've hit level 6.
Oh, there's your red smite, by the way. Reignover went red smite.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him do that before. He goes red smite, ice stone.
Oh, at least with red smite's just nasty.
Yeah.
Because Elise doesn't need that blue smite like Rek'Sai does, to get in there and guarantee their knockup. Elise has so many gap closers already, and long range cocoon, extra damage, baby. But honestly, when you do a hard shove like that, also you have to keep your eyes on the Huhi and Darshan matchup. Remember how big that was before? And Huhi actually a little bit behind in experience.
Maybe Huni?
Huni, yeah, excuse me.
Confusing.
Yeah, I know, it's confusing because they're on separate teams.
Unlucky there. So many similar letters. But Darshan is Darshan is going to soak up
really
extra experience. Look at that.
Xmithie knew. Wait, did he walk past the ward? Yeah, Reignover didn't even walk past the ward. Xmithie just backed up.
So the big thing here is, though, that as long as Xmithie can keep them down here. Oh, so okay, they just forced out the TP. So now Xmithie's going to try to look to make something happen in the duo lane, but as long as they stay safe, this should be pretty good for Immortals. So yeah, obviously the CS is just going into the AD carry, which is 81 to 57.
Yeah, I mean the AD carry gold and the first blood money is what's basically the difference right now in this game. even though I talked about Huhi, I meant Huni is also going to be in a experience disadvantage for a little bit, and that always means so much in top laner fights, right? And especially in lane swaps.
Yeah.
Like if you put a gold value on the stats, just the stats that you get from a level, not even talking about the extra spell that you get, it's depending on your champions between like 500 and 600 gold.
You get HP, AD, armor, MR, well, often MR.
That's all the stats.
More levels. I could just list them off.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, now what we got to see is Xmithie make something happen with his flash body slam. And to be honest, while it might be a little difficult to find your way into the top lane since it's so isolated now that everybody's in the top side, I think the best thing for them to do is just focus on killing Adrian most likely. Because you don't have that much damage onto the mid lane. Pobelter has a pretty good chance of escaping unless you go for a 3-man because of the Ghost Flash, so it's going to be really tough to really lock him down. So if they can just get the dual lane snowballed and really hammer that CS lead and kind of snowball from that, especially with the early build from Lucian, they should be really strong for
Yeah, I mean, Xmithie is just playing completely around his bottom laner now, which I think is the correct choice, but we kind of have to look at Darshan's not getting farm right now because Huni, I can't tell if that wave is frozen or slow pushing, but
I think it's
they're actually going for
probably
mid.
freezing. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. I really like the decision to hold off into the flash. You know he's too deep already. Just get the flash. You know he has to respect the flash body slam. And now all he has to do is just return a little bit later. So wait for the waves to get established again. Once the lane spread back to the sides, Pobelter should be a free kill under turret at any time.
I mean, I think the big challenge is, though, Malzahar has that shield thing that you have to, like, wait for it. It's so annoying because you can't just throw a spell at it and it goes away. You have to still wait, like, a second later for it to fully dissolve. So
meanwhile, Olaf presses ult and loses everything.
Yep. I have
Oh
to
my
say,
god,
though,
that damage.
Yeah, as we... are they going to get caught here? Chased out at least. But yeah, as we were just looking at the Xmithie vision there for a while, oh, they are going to go back in.
Wow. Huni just going in.
Yeah, I don't know, but I really don't.
Although he doesn't have items yet, but if he had items...
Oh,
sick.
wow.
Hey! Look at that kill secure there, Xmithie!
Too much drinking for Huni.
The bullet was in the air. Stixay, though, pretty quick moves there. Yeah, what I was going to say, though, is the vision. If we were looking at Smithie's vision there for a second before we swapped over, and they actually had wards deep on both sides of the jungle that were kind of setting up that play. They knew that Reignover's not in the blue side quadrant, so they know he just came out of base and he's on the other side.
Well, it's the same case that happened in the last game. Xmithie just has more wards than... Oh.
He's gonna get ult.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was...
That's not... yeah, that's a...
That was just disrespect, to be honest, I think. He shouldn't have been walking around in front of him with half health.
And Immortals knows that they're looking to just kill Pobelter. He's got no summoners. Kratos has flash. Bryce has flash. So the two people are there just babysitting, saying, please don't kill Pobelter. And then he just goes in. So.
And he saw all of those babysitters. And he was like, you know what? I'm greedy. I want to get back to my turret right now.
So
he could have just gone over the wall.
Yeah, it was actually just a little bit of greed.
The whole point of the whole vision, though, is that Xmithie and CLG has had more vision than Immortals with the Scythe Stone last game, and then this game with the Red Smite over the trackers. So they're obviously able to really get the jump on things, and if they're actually able to utilize each other's vision off recall timings, Xmithie should be able to get a good gank onto the mid lane. So now that the top side is already cleared, they should know that the areas that aren't warded, so he's going to go back to the top side and hopefully set up a gank from that side onto Pobelter, which should be relatively easy, and frankly, you don't even have to burn flash for this. All he has to do is just body slam over the Wraith Wall, and you can easily just ulti him into Rise, and he should be dead. Especially with no ult. Like, this is a free kill. Pobelter should be dead, but the Ghost now might make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get that shield off again. But man, also look at this Xmithie clear. The early 2 kills make such a difference for Gragas.
It's just such a shame with that disrespect, though, because you had the window of opportunity to get that gank on mid lane, and it's most likely just not going to happen now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I actually like this. So what's happening is Sivir has to catch a wave, so you're going to see Lucian and Morgana, I think, rotate mid. Wait, what are they doing? All right, well...
they want Pobelter still. Like,
yeah, I mean,
everybody's
still
eyes are on Pobelter in the mid lane. They want to get at least this turret down, I guess, trying to pressure.
Well,
CLG going to move in for the
I mean, I think at this point, you could have easily just either gone for the Herald, gone for the Dragon. There's so many things to do instead of just trying to kill this Malzahar.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's so hard to kill. You talk about the shield also, but there's always that threat of locking anyone down who tries to even hit the turret.
Well, maybe they know him better than we do since he played for CLG. They're like, if we kill him here, he's killed.
I mean, jungling is all about mind games, right? If I see someone in ranked play who I have no tilts after a couple of kills or tilts after getting camped.
And this was just all a big blunder here. You could have easily gone for the dragon, and now Immortals, who's on the back foot, who shouldn't be able to get this dragon for absolutely free, just casually strolls in there, gets a free dragon.
No, not Cloud Drake. The game is over.
So, I mean, even though it is Cloud, it's still useful because we're talking about how it's obviously the only dragon that is flat, so it's a bit better in the early game. But to top things off, these games do end up having the Elder in it, so it is important. And even though it's not going to be a big issue, it helps you make decisions in the late game of whether to go for a dragon or Baron.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that it was a bit unnecessary. We talked about that 30 seconds where CLG were all mid, and you know what were they trying to do there? Either kill Pobelter or get damage on the turret. They didn't get either done. Now they're trying to make up for it with this Rift Herald, and I think they should be able to get it. Oh, snap! Xmithie!
That was
nice.
really nice.
That was nice.
I think they were they had all 5 members around. They didn't clear the ward, or maybe, yeah, I think they didn't clear the ward on purpose because Xmithie had his sweeper up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on purpose. That's more like I didn't remember.
I don't know. That turn,
I mean, it could
the turn was so instant.
Yeah.
They had wards leading up to
Well,
them.
how would they have known that it was warded, though?
I mean, he could have just said, I'm not going to sweep on purpose and hope they come.
I mean,
Maybe
I'd like to hear if he's that good, then this man needs a raise, because holy.
Come on, Crumbs. That's why you got to step up your mind games.
Yeah,
right?
that's insane.
I mean, so it's a win-win, right? Because you have wards seeing the path that they would take to come. So,
well, I really like what he did with the engage, though, because a lot of times, especially new Gragas's, will try to go for the flash body slam, and they'll try to go for the auto with the auto W before doing the ult, where if you really look at it, you can get the auto while they're flying mid-air. So all you have to do is you slam in, then you throw the ult first so that you don't give them a window of opportunity to flash away, which is exactly what happens. Reignover died with flash, and you could say, hey, why did you not flash? Well, you actually couldn't.
yeah.
I mean, I think what you're talking, that was actually probably the biggest hurdle for me as a Gragas player, like trying to learn the champion, because I lost so many kills off of just not ulting immediately after the body slam, so.
Wow, that's some Rise damage.
Rise, baby.
Hey,
we talked about that 1.5 items. Who he has the items.
It's Captain Sam, baby, just going. Wait, Uncle Sam. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I was like, what?
All right, sorry. Yes, your name is Sam as well.
That's me, Captain Sam.
Well, you have the hat for it. I would follow a Pokemon Quest with that.
All right. Actually, I think that kill is actually huge for CLG. They should be able to get a turret off of this.
I mean, yeah, they're just feeding off of Adrian, and the Rise is just going to go off, and they don't have any answer for this. We kind of criticized the Morgana play for the Morgana pick in the swap in the regular lane scenario.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That was really nice. Little, no kills, though?
Okay, yeah, no.
6A greed.
Rip.
Baited by Xmithie.
You can tell he was thinking, oh shit, I got a little too close.
Yeah, it's like, check this out, I can watch this ult, and he's like, oh, yeah. I want to help too.
Everybody else was already running away though, and they're like,
But it's so bad now because they're probably gonna lose his mid lane turret. That Malzahar.
Xmithie doesn't have
to save the day again.
But they're losing turrets in the top side, so they're kind of focusing a little bit too much on these kills, which is not what CLG wants to do. They're kind of giving Immortals just a window back because it's not enough diligence. The thing that's been working for them is being grouped. They've been grouped up, and every single group play has been going out for it goes well for them. And anytime that they're kind of spread out, they're on the back foot, overextending a little bit too long, then it just goes downhill.
Yeah, definitely agree. There is Reignover's finished the sight zone though, so maybe we'll see them, be able to set up vision so they can see CLG move for those plays first.
I'm actually pretty surprised to see Xmithie go. He went Spectre's Call before upgrading boots to Merc Treads, which I think is what he's going to buy, but I don't know.
Oh, versus Malzahar and...
Seems really good against...
I actually would not even go with the Merc Treads here. Personally, because I'm the only tank in the situation, I would want to go with something like the CDR boots with the Spirit Visage and then just stack a bunch of MR like a GA. If you get a GA against a team that's mostly focused on burst around not like Malzahar in the late game, you're just going to be unstoppable, and they're never going to be able to actually pump out damage onto you. So yeah, I would have liked to see the CDR.
I guess as well, like he's the primary form of engage, so I mean, getting the city boots gives you your flash more often. Even though it's like, I think it's 10% only, but still at 10%.
More slams too against anybody that dives. So it's overall, it's just a different kind of style for it.
I would say it's a much better style though, because you don't. Yeah, there you go. Genius, guys. But I have to say, initiating using the CC that you have to get a kill quickly is so much better than tanking. Like, rather than building to tank, get in there with the extra flash. You get your kill. You don't have to tank anything.
Yeah, exactly. You just get in the mix, and
it's like Korean advice, right? Don't tank damage, just kill them.
well,
Yeah.
All right, well,
the side stone is now kind of helping out because they're just able to bully their way into this and drop all the wards. And so we're gonna see how Xmithie actually is able to react.
All right, that was.
He got a flash from Poe Belter.
Yeah, that was a dumb cast right there. I want to.
Well, no, he got a flash. He got flashed,
did he?
but he flashed for it himself though. So I wouldn't want to go for that, to be honest, because you don't want to just burn at this stage in the game. If you're the sole engager, you don't want to be burning your flash just to burn the flash. That's no longer worth it. While it's fine in the laning phase, because you're able to immediately get something out of it, your laners can actually win off that. Now the game just stalls out. If you're in the lead, you want to just be making as many plays as possible. And if you make plays that aren't 100% guaranteed, the game's going to stall out. So this is a lot better for Immortals to burn those summoners from Poe Belter, because realistically, who's going to engage on him now? No one.
Yeah, I mean, Xmithie is their engaged.
They got to look for the God Morg binding at this point.
Not with the passive, though.
Oh, that's true.
Nice champion.
All right, so he finished a bunch of MR now, and we're probably going to look to see a more armor from Xmithie. I personally would like to see a Frozen Heart. I'm pretty sure Frozen Heart affects Voidlings.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it would affect Voidlings. It would affect little spiders from Elise. So why not?
Yeah, and the other thing is he definitely needs, like, Alawi should not be underestimated. Like, if they are going to get in there and the tentacles are flapping around.
Well, I think the Alawi Karma combination is just so strong, because if you don't immediately burst her, the shields are just going to stack upon each other. And once she starts building an item such as the Death Stance or just the the Sterax Gauge, it's going to be so hard to kill this champion.
Yeah. We'll see here. Wild Turtle as well on the Sivir. You always talk about this is the stage in the game where she starts to get scary. It's like one more item. No, I'm jumping the gun a little. Maybe she needs about 10 more minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 minutes in. She's got 1.5. Maybe the scary pink word.
The trinity, basically, of holy AD carry items. If you have Essence Reaver, your Phantom Dancer, and your Infinity Edge, or the Static Shiv instead of Phantom Dancer, like those three together, and the AoE crits is just...
The PD's going to save a life against the Aurelia, too, because you know it's going to be so useful against somebody that's actually diving you.
I mean, to be honest right now, I really want to see CLG set up a 1-3-1, because they have double TP. The other team doesn't have double TP. And if they're able to actually pressure and get wards for their 1-3-1, I don't think there's a way that IMT can really win unless they get some random Sivir ult, Flash Malzahar ult on someone, Well,
I think what Immortals has to do is just wait until the very late game where Sivir and the Lowers is going to be impossible to walk into.
Yeah. I mean, but this is kind of like the danger zone, I feel, for them. Ryze is really powerful. Lucian's getting near his Black Cleaver Spike, Trinity Force Aurelia. All these champions are really, really strong right now.
I really think this could have just been salvaged by the CDR boots and just really being intelligent with when you have to use a flash to get the engages off, because there's just no other opportunities, and Immortals can just stall out forever with this comp, which is really the last thing that CLG wanted to do.
Yeah, the thing is, as he talked about,
Oh, he did it! He did it! Wait a minute, was that preemptively? We're gonna have to
it was. Of course it was.
Wait, but hang on. I want to see if it was Poe Belter does the animation, then he casts it, or the shield is on and then Poe Belter just doesn't notice it.
All right, I'm calling for the replay. Crumbs owes me $5. I said Aphromoo was going to black shield the Malzahar ult.
That's orange and ginger juice that I have. That's $5.
It feels so good to get everything right this cast. I was right about the GA last game, right about the preemptive black shield.
Hey, okay, but to be honest,
I think it was Poe Belter messing up.
Okay. We'll see. Honestly, though, CLG, they had the 1-3-1 going, and now their waves have kind of stalled out. I really like how Immortals are stalling. All right, let's see.
Wait, slow.
Yeah, he moved up.
Wait, no. That was Poe Belter casted.
No, but he black shielded the ult for sure.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
No, but if you get a replay of me saying it, I was like, not if Poe Belter casted afterwards.
What do you mean?
How many replays?
That was like 0.5 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we'll have to. Hey, all right, how about this? We'll leave it up to social. If they tweet in that I was right, Crumbs owes me
Wait,
$5.
how many followers do you have?
Hey, Kobe's
Hashtag
gonna
Kobe
play
right.
top
Give me.
eight.
I mean, this is really good because you see what happened with the flash from Xmithie. That's exactly what you need to do. When you're really far ahead, you want to use all your plays on stuff that's guaranteed. So they go for the guaranteed play, easy flash slam. Instead of going for some max range flash cast, you get everybody together, clumped up, easy engage, and this is looking what they should be doing. So hopefully when the flash comes up is when we'll see CLG making moves again.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it because this is Aurelia with Trinity Force. Ryze is most powerful on 2 items.
Aurelia's not here.
Boom. Doesn't even matter.
That's so scary.
Look at that. Stixay all skill too.
If Karma was there, Ilaoi could have easily just wiped him. That's Ilaoi basic. That's a 0-2-0 Ilaoi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the champion's really strong if you run into it. Like if you have to run into an Ilaoi, in especially in small chokes, like that wasn't that bad. If they have to run through like that corridor, it's pretty bad.
So is this Randuin's or Deadman or Warmugs?
Huh? Which one?
The giant spell.
I'm gonna say based on previous builds from him,
It's not
probably
Warmogs.
Randuin's.
Yeah, it's not Warmogs.
Probably
You
Randuin.
want double or nothing?
No,
Cubs?
no,
Huh?
wait, dude. I think it's a Randuin's too. It could be Deadman's though. Blank from SKT goes Deadman's and then follows it into GA. So I don't mind it that much.
I honestly don't like. You can build Randuin's, you can build Deadman's. I think it's, to be honest, it's just preference. Some people like whatever items. So.
I mean, since I'm versus Sivir, like if it was I'm against Ezreal or Lucian or something, for sure, Deadman's, right? Because there's no crit, but I don't know. Like, Sivir is just so annoying with the...
So if you get the Randuin's crit and you're the first one getting hit, does that diminish the actual damage that everybody else gets hit by?
I think it's just you.
Yeah, they're individual crits. Like, the boomerangs can, I mean, the ricochets can crit, but it's not going to be like your first one crits and then everything.
And then this is the same thing that happened last game with Reignover, where he's choosing not to go with boots early, where I feel like Elise also benefits quite a bit from having that flash engage. You might be getting a little bit gun shy because you're against Morgana, and back when Elise was super top meta, and Morgana was too, it was just always a nightmare to be Elise against Morgana. You really felt like you could do absolutely nothing, and he probably feels the exact same way here because everything that Elise does gets countered by Morgana. Elise has to walk into you, you get hit with a bind as you saw right there, and you can't even break through the shield because you're not going to get in range of it.
Let's look at the 1v1 actually on the other side, because it looks like CLG are getting pressure here with Huhi. Like, they're doing the 1-3-1.
Yeah, they're doing the 1-3-1, and they're invading with every time they push the wave in, Gragas, Morgana, and Lucian have just been invading and pushing their vision lineup. Reignover just cleared some, but I honestly think this is all they really have to do to win the game, because Sivir has to stay top with no TP, and then they can make a play bottom or mid and just TP on them, and they'd be in a 4v5.
Well, I think we can call it off basically on cue. When Gragas' flash is back up, they'll be looking really aggressive at.
Right, and then in the meantime, while your flash is down as a jungler, you're just clearing out the enemy jungle. Look at Reignover. Like, Reignover has no camps now. Xmithie just spent that whole last minute clearing out all of Immortal's jungle.
It really is a shame that they're getting double Cloud Dragon, which makes this game a little bit more competitive, because if these were, say, either the Mountain or Fire, this could have been easily transitioned into more Baron focus, whereas now you just have to keep doing it over and over.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
next one's going to be Cloud Ascend.
It possibly could help Xmithie with some out-of-combat move speed to get in there for a flash play, but one is almost as, like, once you stack a lot of clouds, it doesn't feel better and better to me. I mean, obviously you do get
I think
more.
you're not alone.
You get more moves, but like, I'm just like, Doesn't really matter for them though. They still have pretty good control, and they're still sitting on those item advantages that you guys are talking about. Like, Sivir is working on the Infinity Edge, but it's not done yet.
So who do you think is going to be the victim of the next Flash Slam, though?
Whoever's in the front.
Well, it's probably not going to be Pobelter, honestly, because he'll build up the shield. Yeah, like,
I mean, it's been Reignover twice, so.
What would be heartbreaking is if it's Huni and then, like, Adrian gets his shield off and Wild Turtle heals him and he doesn't die and he's in the middle of the team.
Yeah.
Like,
he ults him in and he just ults everybody and you're like, wait a second.
yeah, Huni's like, great, you gave Alawi a gap closer? I love it.
Yeah. The thing for this play to actually start getting set up is going to be the side wave pressure, because if you get the pressure, you're going to be able to really collapse and go for the same kind of catches that they were going for. Obviously, they were granted by the poor recall areas from Immortals, but if they just do that, they can kind of force that mistake out, and hopefully we should be able to see a Baron be forced, and it's just going to be a TP happening.
Oh, Afro gonna have to flash there because it was a little bit late.
Wow, it seems like Ilawi is just going off.
Miles the hardest killed somebody. Whoa.
Xmithie.
Oh,
damn.
who was it? It was
Okay.
Pobelter and Turtle that were the target of the next body slam flash. How did we not catch the jungler play on our jungler stream?
Yeah, I know.
I'm sad.
Well,
Oops.
it's such is life.
Xmithie, though, making it work. And as he said, like,
It's that Xmithie magic you're talking about.
Yeah.
We just kind of look away, and he's already manages to get 2 kills and just straight back.
I mean, he's been like almost. He's been close to 100, or he has been a 100% kill participation this whole game. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been playing around him really well, playing around his body slam really well. I mean, last game it was like, I don't know, 80%, something like that. But yeah.
and look at that, like, oh, Stixa is actually the one who did so much work. Holy shit.
Oh, he got dotted to death.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Does Afro die from it, too? So that was actually.
Oh,
That was
sick.
so clean.
Plus 630. Is that Draven?
That was really, really clean by him.
Yeah.
And it is a random.
I like that the main barrel hit actually both targets. So
Yeah.
it probably was presence of mind and just be able to say, I'm going to hit both of these
Yeah.
people and just pop them once, right at once, because the ultimate placement was actually, if it would not have killed Malzahar, it would have just spread him out and he would have been unable to actually catch up.
It's that Lee
But
Sin dilemma. Do I
You
kick
know.
him right now? Or am I kicking him to safety?
I mean, I really want, like, I want to give credit to Immortals, like how resilient they are, because normally in an 8-3 game where you're playing against a 1-3-1 CLG, the other team would be much further behind, but Immortals is like within 3K, which I think is actually pretty impressive this game.
Yeah. The one thing for them is like Immortals' only way. We keep talking about CLG. Oh, their only way is Xmithie making plays, but for Immortals, their only way is like speed boosting, run at you stuff here because Alawi doesn't have like hard engage at all. Like Pobelter has to get up there close, I guess, with Sivir and speed.
I mean, I really like.
Or in
I think the
Karma
Morgana pick was perfect this game because their win condition. The way that Immortals wants to win is they want to Sivir at you, release Cocoon, Malzahar ult you, and you just have Morgana to sit behind your carries, the people that are pushing at middle, and just black shield them if necessary. So it's really hard for Immortals to make a pick on that.
Oh, I actually wanted to bring up a story about so the first LCS split where I believe it was Vulcan where Xmithie was on. He was actually really bad. He was always quoted as this player is just not good at all. And then I don't know if it was like the next split or a break or something happened that just out of nowhere he just improved so monumentally, and everybody is just wondering what did this guy do to just get so good so quickly, and he hasn't dropped that ever since, and he's just often overlooked because he's not a very vocal player and doesn't really want any of the spotlight. He just plays the game because he loves the game, obviously, and I think that's really important. How if somebody's watching this, it's not that this person was just, oh, this guy's been always good. Like these people actually had to work to get to this spot.
You got to earn it. I always think it's funny, though, when people are still saying, oh, Xmithie's so underrated. Like, we're doing...
It's been like 4 years.
We're doing a stream dedicated to Xmithie and Reignover. Like, we're focusing on him for a reason.
Well, I mean, I was just saying because before the game, our predictions were that Reignover was gonna win, and I feel like that happens frequently with Xmithie, and then he just shows up, and you're just like, oh, okay. So, I mean, but to be fair, the CLG and Xmithie both they haven't looked this good, I don't think.
I mean,
this is their best game.
The reason we were saying he's going to have a hard time is because of
the track record,
the recent team play, right? And the team play in this game has been better, as well as his individual play. But CLG back to the 1-3-1. It's the same thing. They're waiting for Xmithie's cooldown again. Flash is almost back up, but they're getting caught, kind of.
Well, all they have to do is just wait it out. Darshan's going to be able to... What?
Black shielded it.
They're waiting for it.
I don't know about that.
He has
Immunity.
Yeah.
But
All right,
this is fine for CLG. They can easily just take.
They lost the
2
turret,
stops.
though.
Yeah, so this is good for them. I mean, if anything, they might try to convert this into a Baron and just say, just risk it for the biscuit and go for it all. But I don't think that's really worth it. Darshan might be in danger of getting collapsed on.
Xmithie does have Flash, and his smite will be back up. He only used the first one. He had 2 charges built up, so the possibility for steal.
Oh, this is such an Immortals call. Just say, all right, just go for it. The game is so stallable here. You're basically living by the Braga splash. And Lowie's not here yet.
They're trapped
up right now.
Oh,
he's so tanky though.
Mertreads.
Nice. That silence, that was great. That's really the strength of the mouse.
Oh, Huni teleported too.
Darshan just finds himself unable to actually get in here.
Yeah. Looks looking pretty bad for CLG, actually.
Wow. That was a big turn.
Xmithie went a little early there.
I thought it was a really smart idea to just, you got to turn on the Gragas. He's your biggest threat inside the Baron pit. You don't have a tank. You got to kill the guy that's going to keep you inside the pit, as opposed to the one that, you know, you could look at the Ryze and identify him as the biggest threat, but because Gragas is the one that threatens the smite, threatens to keep you in the pit, and the damage would come from the Baron, not from the champion itself. So it really,
I'm pretty sure the gold swing in the past, like as soon as they finished the Baron, the gold swing in the past 2 minutes is probably like 8K up for Immortals or something like that, because they were a good amount down before. They were like 3-4K down.
Yeah, CLG had so much control. This is actually like completely opposite from last game, and the way that they react out of the Baron is completely opposite too.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, like, honestly, when Immortals stole the Baron last time, this is how you should always react. The other team shouldn't be able to walk up, and Immortals just instantly turns. So
the perk of the Malzahar pick is so oppressive. With the Morgana out of the picture, the composition from Immortals just takes off, and it's so oppressive to try to go into this. You got the Malzahar, the Karma, the Elise stun, the Alawi. You can't walk into this no matter who you are. So it's really smart for them to actually kind of make the assessment that you gotta kill the Morgana. If Morgana is out, Immortals should win every fight.
Yeah, I mean, plus they got the GA passive pop there as well. So like CLG lost so much off of that turn.
Then we have a GA onto Reignover as well. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't like GA on Elise at all, because a big reasoning behind the GA purchase is basically, if you die, can you bring something to
when
the
you get
fight
back up?
when you get
I
back
mean, maybe
up?
you could bring like a stun.
I mean,
Like realistically though, if you die, is somebody gonna set themselves up in a position where you're gonna be able to hit a cocoon off? You're standing there for like 5 seconds.
I mean, if
dead.
it's a Hex team fight, maybe. I mean, I've seen this build a good amount from Elise players, like especially Diamond Procs did this all the time. He would go Thunderlords with this build exactly, except he'd go Lucidity Boots.
Plus, like, Elise, if you, especially later in the game, the cooldown on, like, Repel is a lot lower. If you use it pretty early in the team fight and you don't die for a bit, then when you get back up, your Repel can be back up.
For example, like, wouldn't you want to have an Abyssal Scepter this game, especially against a diving composition such as CLG's, where you're going to be able to easily just melt through anybody coming into you with the Malzahar to help that out? You got a Static Shave on Sivir, the Karma gets helped out as well. You get a little bit more CDR since you're not going with the CDR boots.
True. Look how Immortals using this Baron as well.
But Xmithie does have flash, though. If they want to try to engage on this, they could go for it.
I think it's pretty dangerous. If they're able to wave clear it.
Malzahar's shield is on, or it's off now.
Well, they know that Malzahar still doesn't have flash. I think that they should really identify that their biggest threat here is Turtle now. He has reached that triple item threat, so if he stays alive, the fight's most likely going to go downhill. But I think they're just going to concede it. Yeah, they're just leaving, but they're really doing a poor job here because Uni is able to actually get a turret as well.
Yeah, they have to pull the trigger because Hooney's got it.
They just lost the turret, or they just lost an inhib actually.
This is
No preemptive flash on that one. Or
Black Shield, yeah. Styx does live.
that GA Elise, man, that worked. I completely proven wrong.
You see why?
And now Immortals is just gonna.
They actually won the game because of that, Crumbs.
Oh, jeez.
Genius buy.
That's a dumbs comment. All right, well, there isn't the Elder Dragon, and that's just that Elder Dragon's gonna make it so much stronger because they took that Cloud Drake. So imagine if CLG had been able to go for the triple dragon this game, and while it would have been a triple Cloud for them, it still would have made their Elder that much stronger on the circumstance where maybe they steal it, maybe they have it's a much bigger threat for them if they want to fight or they're able to sneak it somehow. And now that they're that one dragon down there, it really just shows how, while the dragon might not be important then, it's going to be important later, especially in the game that's going to be as competitive as CLG Immortals.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reignover is going Zhonya's. Interesting.
Yeah, he just wants to be that engaged to him.
yeah, delay the other team once you get in there. I mean, all the outer turrets are pretty much paper too here. Like, CLG are in such a difficult position.
Yeah.
And you know, I really think that you could actually attribute all of this game
Oh,
stalling
look at
out
that teleport though.
to that. Oh,
Interesting flank. Xmithie does have flash.
it's a wrap around. That's a lot. No, this is good for Immortals.
I think who he flashed on Reignover actually.
Xmithie flashed on Turtle, and he was able to flash out.
Hey, you were gonna say, I'm pretty sure you were gonna say when he flash ulted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that stalled out everything. So
Yeah.
had that play not happened, and you would have just been content with leaving Pobelter, who this game hasn't even been about Pobelter getting caught. In fact, it's been everybody else. If you had those extra 5 minutes in the mid game, you could have been able to break the game open just wide enough that you might have been able to actually pressure the Baron side around the 30-minute mark. But now that there's no Baron side, the game's just all over.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. If that hadn't happened, like honestly, it's really hard to fault pro players for micro mistakes like that, but
It's something that, yeah, while it is hard to fault them, it's something that everybody as a pro player is rather eager to learn and see something like that and be like, wow, you know what, you're totally right. This game stalled out because of that.
yeah.
Definitely agree. I'm actually excited. We're going to game 3 now, dude.
Yeah.
That was
I mean, it's pretty cool, honestly, because both these guys